Hello and welcome to Books of Blood. My name is John, and today I've got part 3 of a series I've been doing where I take 5 different subgenres of horror and find 2 books that fit within that subgenre of that particular subgenre of horror, So this one's going to be part 3, or I've affectionately titled this one Bride of 10 More Books, or 10 More Horror Books from 5 different subgenres that I want to read or want to buy and read. I messed that title up a little bit, but that's okay. You get the gist, and you'll see the title on the thumbnail anyway. So this time out, the categories or the subgenres, are going to be gothic, body, erotic, psychological, and comedy. So that being said, let's go ahead and get underway. So the first one we're going to do is, of course, gothic. For that one, the 2 that I've chosen are, first of all, The Moth Diaries, and this is by Rachel Klein. Lucy and Ernessa have become inseparable. Ernessa's taken her over. She's consuming her. What I saw wasn't real, and I know it wasn't a dream. Ernessa is a vampire. At an exclusive girls' boarding school, a 16-year-old girl records her most intimate thoughts in a diary. The object of her growing obsession is her roommate, Lucy Blake. And Lucy's friendship with their new and disturbing classmate, Ernessa, is an enigmatic, moody presence with pale skin and hypnotic eyes. Around her swirl dark rumors, suspicions, and secrets, as well as a series of ominous disasters. As fear spreads through the school and Lucy isn't Lucy anymore, fantasy and reality mingle until what is true and what is dreamed bleed together into a waking nightmare that evokes with gothic menace the anxieties, lusts, and fears of adolescence. And at the center of the diary is the question that haunts all who read it. Is Ernessa really a vampire? Or has the narrator trapped herself in the fevered world of her own imagining? That is the Moth Diaries. I almost said the Vampire Diaries, but it's the Moth Diaries. That was made into a movie also. I saw it. I don't remember if I liked it or not. I think I might have, but I might need to read the book now, which I do want to read the book. Okay, next up, in the Gothic category, we've got The Toll. And this is by Cherie Priest. Take a road trip into a Southern Gothic horror novel. Titus and Melanie Bell are on their honeymoon and have reservations in the Okefenokee Swamp. In the Okefenokee Swamp cabins for a canoeing trip. But shortly before they reach their destination, the road narrows into a rickety bridge with old stone pilings with room for only one car. Much later, Titus wakes up lying in the middle of the road, no bridge in sight. Melanie is missing. When he calls the police, they tell him there is no such bridge on Route 177. That sounds pretty good. That's The Toll by Cherie Priest. So those are the 2 books for the Gothic subgenre. All right. Okay, next up we've got body horror. So the first one we've got for that one is The Beauty. This is by Aaliyah Whitley or Whiteley. I believe it's probably Whitley, but I may be wrong. Somewhere away from the cities and towns in the Valley of the Rocks, a society of men and boys gather around the fire each night to listen to their history recounted by Nate, the storyteller. Requested most often by the group is the tale of the death of all women. They are the last generation. One evening, Nate brings back new secrets from the woods. Peculiar mushrooms are growing from the ground where the women's bodies lie buried. These are the first signs of a strange and insidious presence unlike anything ever known before. Discover the Beauty. And that is The Beauty by Aaliyah Whiteley. Okay, next up in our body horror is Slither by Edward Lee. And I know he's put out some really gruesome, gory, fun little horror novels in the past. The trichinosis worm is one of nature's most revolting parasites. Certain types of this tiny worm alter a host's DNA by injecting a virus which mutates the reproductive system. This forces the host to bear the worm's young. Typically, these worms are never longer than a few millimeters. But guess what? Now there's a subspecies that's 30 feet long. When Nora and her team arrived at the island, she expects a routine zoological excursion, but it doesn't take her long to realize they're not alone. Are her lurid sexual dreams making her paranoid, or is she being watched? The dead bodies they find are bad enough, but then her own team members begin to disappear, and when they return, they're changed. Indeed, there are other people on the island, along with something else far worse, and that is Slither by Edward Lee. Alrighty, moving on, we have got erotic. So the first one we got for erotic is Cthulhu Erotica, and this is a series of an anthology that is edited by Carrie Quinn. I believe it's pronounced Quinn. It's Cuinn, so I'm going to figure that's a variation of Quinn. If I'm wrong, I apologize. Revised edition, too, from independent publisher Dagon Books. Cthulhu Erotica is an exciting new anthology of erotic horror, inspired by the writing of H.P. Lovecraft. This decadent collection contains unique creations of mythos fiction, plus thought-provoking academic essays. Excuse me, I'm talking too fast. Sorry about that. In addition, the revised edition contains more than 20 pieces of original art, with work by Cody Goodfellow, Kenneth Haidt, Stephen J. Sears, Silvia Marina Garcia, Gabrielle Harbawi, Matthew Marovich, Kirsten Brown, Richard Barron, Don Pizarro, K.V. Taylor, Jennifer Brodsek, Galen Dara, Mae Empson, Nathan Crowder, Leon J. West, and many more. So let's see some of the stories we have in this. I got the list of them here. We got The C Word by Don Pizarro. We got Daddy's Girl by Madison Woods. Victim of Victims by Anonymous. Let's see. Between a Rock and an Elder Goddess by Mae Empson. Flash Frame by Silvia Morena Garcia. Let's see. One more. And The Summoned by Clint Collins. So there you go. All right, next up in the erotic subgenre, we've got The Scholomance, and this is by R. Lee Smith. For centuries, there has been a legend of a hidden school where magic is taught by the demons who dwell there to anyone who seeks them out. But they ask a terrible price. Anyone who reaches the door of the Scholomance may enter, but the devil takes every 10th student who tries to leave. A hidden school, demonic masters, and an inescapable fate for one out of every 10 graduates. But Connie would do anything to have the magic her best friend was born with. And Mara would do anything to get Connie back. And that is The Scholomance. And those are the two, that and Cthulhu Erotica are the two for the erotic subgenre category. So there you go. All right. Next up, we have psychological stuff that gets inside your mind and does crazy stuff to you and all that. All right. First up, we've got The Secret of Ventriloquism, and this is by John Paget. With themes reminiscent of Shirley Jackson, Thomas Ligotti, and Bruno Schultz, but with a strikingly unique vision, John Paget's The Secrets of Ventriloquism heralds the arrival of a significant new literary talent. Paget's work explores the mystery of human suffering, the agony of personal existence, and the ghastly means by which someone might achieve salvation from both. A bullied child who seeks vengeance within a bed's hollow box spring, a lucid dreamer haunted by an impossible house, a dummy that reveals its own anatomy in 20 simple steps, a stuttering librarian who holds the key to a Milltown's unspeakable secrets, a commuter whose worldview is shattered by 2 words printed on a cardboard sign, an aspiring ventriloquist who spends a little too much time looking at himself in the mirror, and the presence that speaks through them all. And that is The Secret of Ventriloquism. That is by John Paget. And this is evidently I believe this is stories. Yes, I believe it is short stories. Yep. A collection. There you go. Next up, we've got We'll Never Be Apart. And this is by Emiko Jean. I believe this is her debut novel. Murder, fire, revenge. That's all 17-year-old Alice Monroe thinks about. Committed to a mental ward at Savage Isle, Alice is haunted by memories of the fire that killed her boyfriend Jason, a blaze her twin sister Sally set. But when Chase, a mysterious charismatic patient, agrees to help her seek vengeance, Alice begins to rethink everything. Writing out the story of her troubled past in a journal, she must confront hidden truths. is the one person she trusts only telling her half the story. Nothing is as it seems in this edge-of-your-seat psychological thriller from the debut author, Emiko Jean. And that is We'll Never Be Apart. And that and The Secret of Ventriloquism are the two in the psychological horror category. Finally, last but not least, we have got comedy. Ha ha ha. All right. So, first thing we've got is Cult of the Gator God, and this is by Paul Lubachewski. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. I don't want to butcher it too badly. In this modern world, you have to be ready to move for work, and Bob Carey thought he was able to live anywhere, at least until he met Florida, that is, which it turns out is a lot more Miami and Disney. Now, thanks to an untimely flaming boat-related death and some office politics, he finds himself in Jacksonville, tasked with making a new life. The young environmental lawyer has a lot to learn about his new town, and the new people in his life, like his oddball researcher Steve, his new girlfriend Sarah, and most of all, his new clients. What he finds will make him realize that the Florida man headlines he used to enjoy don't explain even a portion of how weird the Sunshine State can truly be. And I don't know if any of you guys are from Florida, but I've been to Florida. It's been a long time now, but yeah, it's kind of it's an experience. I mean, I kind of loved Florida when I went there. I went to Key West, and I've been to Orange County, is it Orange County? I believe it is. Yeah, I think so. Or something, or Dade, or something like that. And yeah, I did go to Disney World, and I also went to Universal and all that crap, you know. So yeah, it was kind of cool. All right, finally, we got My Life as a White Trash Zombie, and this is by Diana Rowland. Angel Crawford is a loser, living with her alcoholic deadbeat dad in the swamps of southern Louisiana. She's a high school dropout with a pill habit and a criminal record who's been fired from more crap jobs than she can count. Now on probation for a felony, it seems that Angel will never pull herself out of the downward spiral her life has taken. That is until the day she wakes up in the ER after overdosing on painkillers. Angel remembers being in a horrible car crash, but she doesn't have a mark on her. To add to the weirdness, she receives an anonymous letter telling her there's a job waiting for her at the county morgue, and that it's an offer she doesn't dare refuse. Before she knows it, she's dealing with a huge crush on a certain hunky deputy and a brand new addiction, an overpowering craving for brains. Plus, her morgue is filling up with the victims of a serial killer who decapitates his prey just when she's hungriest. Angel's going to have to grow up fast if she wants to keep this job and stay in one piece, because if she doesn't, she's dead meat. Literally. And that is 10 more horror books and 5 more subgenres of horror that I would like to buy and I would like to read. I believe I'm going to post this on Monday afternoon. The weekend is coming up, so you guys enjoy the weekend. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you Monday or later or whatever. Bye.